thought I'd try something out a little different today. I'm going to unbox my cold air intake for my 2019 GMC AT4. We're going to take a look at all the parts, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to have done to this truck to hopefully pull out another 15 horsepower. It'll go from 420 rated horsepower up to 435 once this is completed. So hopefully this is entertaining and we can get to see what we get. So instead of buying the parts and getting this truck and ordering it with a catback exhaust, what I did is I elected to do my own. So I have taken this truck in. I've already submitted a video. I'll put it in the link below. That shows me putting on the Flowmaster exhaust. So I put a Flowmaster 40 exhaust and new round tips, and you can kind of see them there in the video now. So my exhaust piece has already been taken care of, and now we got to add the cold air intake to this to get the increased horsepower. Let's open this box up and see what we got in here. Hopefully it's a lot of fun parts. I got the tube. And another tube. Clamps and some ties. Got the cover. This is going to be the air filter. And the intake box. And here are all the parts that I've gotten. So, the box, the intake, the air cleaner, appropriate parts to make it, and the cover that's going to eventually get mounted, which I like this the best because it makes it a true cold air intake. I'm going to try to pull this cold air intake out, or this actual air intake out, the plenum and all of these parts, and install all of these parts here for us today. The first things we're going to do is we're going to take loose a screw that you'll see right there that holds the bracket and holds the clamp that allows the air to go into the intake. And then we're going to pull off these here clips to pull off this breather from this plenum. After removing the clip back here by just pushing the gray release and pulling it off slowly, you can then be able to get this air handling intake to lift up, and it's just snapped into there. So we're just going to work it and get it to free up from the little holder that it's on. And it'll come off like that. And it's just on there with a little just a little slip-in notch that slides in and snaps into that piece. Next, we're going to work on getting the air cleaner out itself. There's a Phillips screw there. a 10mm bolt there, another screw there, and another screw there that we're going to pull out to start pulling this box up and out, to get this air cleaner box up and out. This 10mm bolt right here. You should be able to pull the cover off then. The original air filter, which in this case it's only got 1,800 miles on it, so it's in really good shape. You got to pull this sensor box off of this piece. It'll be mounted to the new one. Pull off some of these cable connectors. One of the next things we got to do is we got to slip inside and release these little pins out of here and get all of these lifted out. And to do that, I got to do it all the way across. You just have to get underneath that little clip. There's a little hole there. Kind of get under it. And then slowly lift and work your way around. They make a tool for this, but a screwdriver will work just fine. And then you can pull that little clip out. And we need to pull all of these out. And we got all of those out. We ran into a slight issue here. We got to get this off, this handle. Oh, this is my first time to do this. And it's my own vehicle, so I'm kind of learning as I go here, but I'm trying to share it with everybody. So I had to get this to push back down and in there so that I could get this to slip and pull apart. Now we should be able to get this out. And the reason we have to get that out is we have to get to these little clips to remove. Let me show you here. I'll get you a better view. We had to get that out because we got to get in here to remove this clip so that we can get this cold air intake pipe to pull out and pull itself away from down in here where there's the box that it connects to. I'll show you that here as best I can. Here's the clip we're going to get and pull off. This is the cold air intake piece tube that goes in, and as you can see, it goes over and connects to this box, and that's where the inlet comes in to the air chamber. And this is just the same kind of a clip that we've been using all along here. And now I can pull this back And by pulling this forward, I could get this to pull and release it from the box right there. And then this box here I should be able to pull out now. So what I've ended up doing is I was able to reach in there, pry these little rubber clips off, which you need to have off anyway, and then I was able to slip that up and pass that. So we got the two little rubber ends, and now the air box is released. We now have a little bit of modifications we have to do on these. We have to move this mass air sensor, and it's going to get taken off, and we're going to put it onto the new box here. And of course those little rubber things that we just pulled off, they're going to go back onto here so that they'll fit back into that box correctly. So we'll go ahead and do that. Hopefully you can see that right there. And now we're going to work on moving that mass air sensor over. So I need a flux. This one. And we're going to slip that right back into this box. That should be it. We're going to work to get this pipe here reconnected back into the appropriate spot under this, so that the air goes into the chamber like it's supposed to. Also, we're going to get these things brought back up. Okay, so you know, I forgot a piece, and I've already put it on. It's that little rubber grommet that goes around that. You want to re-pull that little grommet off of the other one and stick it on here. So basically we're just repeating our process backwards now. We're going to put the little clip back in here to hold this back up and in place correctly. Just put that in and snap it back in, and it'll go back in and hold just like it was supposed to. This box has already come with the appropriate fitting to put this back on, so this can slip right back onto here to be mounted. And the mass air sensor here, we're going to just take this thing and plug it back in to that mass air sensor that we installed, so that it's back in place. And now we're just going to put those same screws and nuts back in. First the nut down here. And that should lock the box back in place. The screws don't go back in because that's what held the cover for the other air cleaner. So this is just mounted back into there, and it just holds into those clips and goes back into that area. Okay, so now we've went around, and I have put this trough back in. It laid right down. It lined up back in perfectly for the air cleaner thing here, for the air to go down in here correctly. And all I did is just re-push in all the same clips back in, and this trough is back in and held securely. And we're just going to put the handle back on. There we go. It's all back together. Okay, we're back with the next piece here. We're going to get the clamps that came with the kit. And we're going to put them on here and on here. There we go. And here's this. So now we're going to put get that pushed onto there. And then we're going to get this pushed onto here. Get it on all the way, and then we're going to tighten the clamp down. And we're going to tighten this clamp down. I'm going to put that up on top a little bit. I'm going to put it up here a little bit just so that I can get to it easily. There we go. If we can get in there and pull that little clip and pull that piece off, because we're not going to use it again. And they supply us with a new one that will go and snap on and snaps onto here to give us that. And it'll clip. There we go. So that's the new piece to go across there. All right, we're getting really close. Next, we're going to put the air cleaner in. Pretty simple spot. Hold it into position and tighten it down. There we go. And we're going to follow that up with the cover. And on the cover, the kit that I bought this from, ChevyParts.com, sends you with the sticker. It's the same sticker that's on the original airbox. I don't want it to be right in my main view, so I'm going to put it clear over here. That keeps me stock and keeps everything in question to be looking right, and yet it's kind of hidden back here in the back. So kind of the best of both worlds, I think. Screw down our lid. Badly as I want to start this thing and hear it and see how it runs, I don't want it to set off the sensors and have the mass airflow or something be wrong and throw a bunch of warnings on my dash. So I'm going to wait until in the morning, and then I will drive it about 6 miles straight to the dealership, where by buying this, it came with the code for labor for them to do all the programming. And they can do the programming on the chip in the computer. And when it's all done with the exhaust and this cold air intake put on, I should be making 435 horse instead of the stock 420. And instead of $2,200 for the cold air catback exhaust to be installed on it from the factory, I have put my own exhaust on with custom tips for $300. And this kit, instead of $650, even from General Motors, I bought it from ChevyParts.com direct and gave $425, $500 right with shipping and with all the programming. I'll be pushing right at $800 for a $2,200 option, and it will be complete. Thanks for watching, and I will update the last piece I'll come back with is after it's tuned. And here is the final clean install. I've taken it, it's been programmed, and it's running just as it should. There was also an ECM update that I was able to get accomplished at the same time, and we're in good shape.